Okay, hey, I'm Kathy, compulsive eater, and I do what you do since August 16th of 2012. I choose 3 meals from the Gray Sheet. They're committed to my sponsor, weigh and measure, nothing else in between. What else? And I enjoy them so very much. What an honor this is. Thank you so much, Stephanie. You know, and when you first get asked to qualify, my first thought is like, how am I gonna look really good? What can I say or do so everyone will think, wow, what a bitch in person? Um, and then I'd have to like do a survey, like, okay, what do you guys consider bitching and how can I be that? And it would just take a lot of time. So then pretty soon my thoughts are, you know, how could I say something that would be helpful to somebody? And it's maybe not even on this meeting, maybe 10 years from now on the YouTube channel, someone will be listening in something I say. So there's just no way to predict anything, but just tell my story, what it used to be like, what happened, and what it's like now. I just feel emotional. So I have a picture. Here's a picture. That's that's me doing my best. I think I was 24 at the time. And I just didn't know what was wrong with me. You know, I grew up just feeling like crap, like dog poop. I didn't know what was wrong. And but thank God for food because, you know, when I was eating, I was willing to stay alive. It gave me that much pleasure to overcome the feelings of self-loathing. There's no worse feeling than self-loathing. It's so frickin' unnatural. I mean, you look at any animal, tree, anything in nature does not have self-loathing. So it's so painful, and I just didn't know what I was gonna do. I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. I was a middle child. I guess what kids do is they kind of figure out what they wanna be when they grow up, and then they, like, aim for that. So, like, my sister wanted to be, like, a mother, and my brother wanted to be rich. I didn't know what I was gonna do. Um, all I knew how to do was eat, and then, um, by the time I got to be about 275 pounds and just bone-crushing depression, I had a moment where, like, I can't do this. I just can't do this. So I had this boyfriend. He had a lot of guns, and there was one in the corner of the room, and I'm like, either I get up off this bed and try and figure out what the hell is wrong with me, or I'm going to use that gun, one or the other. I cannot keep doing this. So obviously, I chose to get up off the bed. And I'm really glad I didn't understand what big trouble I was in. I had everything wrong because I just couldn't have foreseen that I could survive all of what I would need to do to get here. But I started trying things, churches and vitamins and chiropractic, and it took me about 4 years to find these rooms. And I remember my first meeting in Simi Valley, California. It was 11 o'clock. It was a candlelight meeting. This was the beverage program where I first came. And they all looked so shiny. Everyone looked so clean. And I was so gross. And they all shared, and then they stopped and looked at me, and it's like, that changed my life. Somebody wanted to hear what I had to say. And so that was like 42 years ago. In that same year, 1982, I found myself in the food program. And back then, they gave you a food plan thing, and then it was like, pick one, and it was Gray Sheet. It's all kind of hazy, but for 10 years during that period of time, for 10 years, I did Gray Sheet. Weighed and measured. When I first looked at it, I'm like, that's sick. I mean, I'm sick, but that's sicker. Little things on the scale and I mean, but I was forced to because I was absolutely hopeless. And so the cliff notes are I was 10 years Gray Sheet. Then I went to my first meditation retreat, and I'm like, oh, I need a boyfriend really bad. And I can't do Gray Sheet. So I stopped doing Gray Sheet with you guys. It was a small little group in Los Angeles. It wasn't a big deal to step away because there was like nobody there. And I had a Gray Sheet on my counter, and I had a scale on my counter, but I wasn't doing Gray Sheet really. But I never picked up sugar or flour. Anyway, got some boyfriends and then got married, and then did that for 20 years. I don't recommend it at all. I was thinking the reason I'm wearing a hat is because I cut my own hair, which is the equivalent of sponsoring yourself. Doesn't work. So 12 years ago or 11 years ago, I started thinking about my life. I'd only gone up, like, I was only about 200 pounds. I was proud of myself. I started thinking about myself, like my life, like, what's going to happen to me? This step family thing I got involved in, that's not going to have any long-term benefit to me. Started thinking about Gray Sheet. I'm like, I wonder if Gray Sheet still exists. And then somebody mentioned in my area where I was living in New Orleans that they did Gray Sheet with exception. Their sponsor let them not weigh and measure at restaurants. I'm like, oh my God, that's perfect. I love how Gray Sheet has evolved. So I came online and asked for a sponsor. And she wasn't playing at all. So I'm like, all right, thanks. And I kind of hung up. And then I'm like, what am I going to do? So I called back and started August 16th of 2012. And it's funny because I wasn't even planning on losing weight. I just wanted to like get back with a fellowship and be a part of something. So I'm around 200 pounds. I'm 5'9". You can kind of pull it off. And I immediately like lost 40 pounds. It's like, so I always like to say I came for the sanity and stayed for the vanity. Well, anyway, my husband just died. We were married 27 years. I keep thinking I've been having what I call projectile tears. Every now and again, I'll just like, ah! So he died October 12th this year. And my secret to my whole happiness and my whole life is a couple of things. I eat like a queen. It informs me. I mean, I heard someone on a meeting, I hope she's not here, the other day saying that she was kind of proud of herself because she put together, I think she called it vile swill. She put together a meal of vile swill and was proud of herself because it didn't matter to her. And I'm like, no, eating like a queen tells me I'm a queen. Okay. And so I just love my meals so much. I don't ever want to be neutral around food. This is the greatest addiction there is. You get to do it 3 times a day. Well, not doing the addiction, but enjoying oh my God, so that's one, I can't believe how I turned out to be so self-regarding. How could I have gone from complete bone-crushing depression and self-hatred to someone I just feel so amazing? Of course, there were a lot of steps in there and decades of work and stuff, but eating like a queen. And I have a home group. I have this group I meet with. We meet daily. And that, when I'm still in the beverage program, but that had always been my thing. You have to have a group where if you don't show up, they come out, they come for you, where are you? So I've managed to have that here in Gray Sheet. And we did an AWOL together, we camped together. I've camped with some of you here. Oh, by the way, I travel full time in this little trailer. I'm going to show it to you. I go online a lot, and people like in these camping groups, and like, can we see the inside of your trailer? I'm like, no, but I'm going to show you my trailer. Okay, there's one end of it. That's the bedroom. This is the living room and dining room. And over there is the kitchen and the bathroom. You've had a complete home tour in 8 seconds. Completely lost my train of thought. Oh, the home group. Okay, so when my husband died, he got diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, and 3 months later was dead. And having this home group, man, oh, I cannot recommend it enough. And it takes years. It took me 27 years to have a 27-year marriage, And it's taken me years of nurturing relationships to have my home group. And they just saw me through this. Now my dog is 14, okay? A big dog who's 14. I've got my abstinence, I've got my program, I've got my home group. They're going to see me through. I wanted to say, when my husband was passing away, see, what we're doing right now is incredible. The fact that I'm talking and you guys are not talking, freaking a miracle. And, and then, of course, then you talk and I don't talk. It's not like I'm the only one talking all the time. So I read that when people are passing away, they do a lot of really deep thinking. And that's what I'll do too when it's my time. And you start thinking about your life, and that people in that, they want to be listened to. They want someone to listen to them. And so I was driving cross country because I was in Oregon when I found out about him having this, and I was driving and I was studying up on end of life stuff. And when I got there, I was in the mode of, I'm going to listen to him. He had 2 children there that were frantic and fearful and don't leave and all that. And I'm there like, let's hear what you have to say. Oh my God, you guys taught me that. These moments in these meetings, we learn how to listen. Okay, thank you. 1 minute. And then he said something, I'm gonna close with this because it's the greatest thing anyone has ever said to me. And it's all a result of this. He said, I feel peaceful when you're here. Can you imagine all the crap I had inside me and all the fear and self-loathing, and that I could show up and he feels peaceful. So anyway, happy Christmas. It's all about death. Anyway, I just am so honored to be a part of you all. Thank you for having me. You've saved my life. Namaste.